It began with a fragile machine of wood and cloth, lifting from the sands of Kitty Hawk for just 12 seconds. That first flight was a whisper against the wind, a small, uncertain leap that changed everything. Two brothers from Ohio, refusing to accept the impossible, solved a puzzle that had confounded humanity for centuries. Fast forward to today, a colossal Airbus. A 380 thunders down a runway, carrying hundreds across oceans in hours. The journey from that first hop to modern air travel is more than a story of technology, it's a story of human vision and courage. Dreamers saw the sky not as a barrier, but as a frontier. They risked ridicule, failure, and danger, driven by the belief that humanity was meant to fly. For every success there were countless setbacks and tragedies, yet pioneers persisted, tinkering, sketching, and sacrificing for a dream. The evolution of flight was never inevitable. It was willed into being by relentless individuals. They were outsiders, inventors, and adventurers who refused to give up. Their story is not just about machines, but about the spirit that turned an ancient dream into daily reality. Every flight today is a tribute to their determination. This is their story. For centuries, flight was the stuff of myth, of Icarus, of Da Vinci's sketches of unreachable skies. To dream of flying was to be dismissed as a fantasist. Yet the pull of the sky was irresistible, promising freedom from the world below. The pioneers of aviation were outsiders, mechanics, tinkerers, and relentless optimists. They saw problems to solve, not limitations. Academic experts declared flight impossible, so the work fell to those unbound by convention. Bicycle makers, self-taught engineers, and dreamers faced ridicule and worked with meager resources. What united them was resilience. Every crash and failure was a lesson, not a defeat. They were methodical, patient, and willing to risk everything for a dream. Their stubborn optimism and hard work were the true engines of progress. They weren't reckless daredevils, but careful thinkers who challenged the impossible. Their persistence transformed fantasy into reality. The sky became a frontier for all. Wilbur and Orville Wright were self-taught mechanics from Dayton, Ohio, not trained scientists. Their work with bicycles taught them the importance of balance and control, insights they applied to flight. Unlike others, the Wrights focused on controlling their machine, not just powering it. Observing birds, they developed wing warping to steer their gliders. They built kites, gliders, and even their own wind tunnel to test ideas, correcting flawed data from others. Isolated and self-funded, they worked quietly while others chased headlines. In the windy dunes of Kitty Hawk, they endured harsh conditions and repeated failures, but their resolve never wavered. On December 17, 1903, Orville piloted the Flyer for 12 seconds, the first true controlled powered flight. They made 3 more flights that day, the longest just under a minute. Only 5 people witnessed it. The world barely noticed, but the brothers knew they had solved the problem. The age of aviation began not with fanfare, but with the quiet triumph of 2 determined brothers. Their methodical approach set the standard for all who followed. From a humble workshop, they changed the world. The sky was open. The Wrights weren't alone. Aviation's story is filled with unsung heroes. In France, Alberto Santos Dumont dazzled crowds, winning prizes and making Europe's first witness-powered flight. For many, he was the true father of aviation. The sky was also claimed by women like Bessie Coleman, who overcame racism and sexism to become America's first black female pilot. Denied entry to U.S. flight schools, she learned French and earned her license in France, returning as Queen Bess. Catherine Stinson, the flying schoolgirl, was a daring innovator, the first woman to perform a loop and to fly in Japan and China. Rejected as a fighter pilot, she served as an ambulance driver and inspired her family to found the Stinson Aircraft Company. These pioneers, Santos Dumont, Coleman, Stinson, proved the desire to fly crossed all boundaries. They faced unique obstacles, but their courage opened the skies for everyone. They weren't just pilots, they were trailblazers. Their stories are vital to aviation's rich tapestry. The sky became a place for all dreamers. Their legacy endures in every flight. They made the impossible possible. Once flight was achieved, a new generation pushed the limits. Higher, faster, farther. Howard Hughes, the eccentric industrialist, set speed records and demanded perfection from his engineers. The next barrier was the sound barrier, feared as a deadly wall in the sky. Chuck Yeager, a calm and fearless pilot, was chosen to fly the rocket-powered Bell X-1. With broken ribs hidden from his superiors, Jaeger broke the sound barrier on October 14, 1947. He proved the barrier was a doorway, not a wall, ushering in the era of supersonic flight. Decades later, Burt Rutan redefined aircraft design with unconventional shapes and lightweight materials. From his Mojave Desert workshop, Rutan's Voyager circled the globe non-stop in 1986, piloted by his brother Dick and Gina Jaeger. Their journey took 9 days, proving the power of innovation and efficiency. These pioneers weren't satisfied with what was possible, they reimagined the future. Each breakthrough inspired the next. The spirit of pushing boundaries defines aviation. The sky is never the limit. Every record broken is a tribute to relentless curiosity. The quest to fly farther continues. The work of these pioneers transformed flight from a spectacle into a global necessity. What began as a daredevil's novelty became the backbone of modern transport. The sky turned into a highway, shrinking continents and connecting people in ways once unimaginable. Business, family, and culture crossed oceans in hours, not weeks. Air travel revolutionized economies, created new industries, and opened up the world. Ideas, cultures, and knowledge now move as freely as people and goods. Students study abroad, scientists collaborate globally, and tourists explore distant lands. Air travel built bridges of understanding, fostering a sense of global community. Seeing Earth from above gave us a new perspective, our planet, fragile and beautiful. Today we grumble about airports and delays, forgetting the miracle of flight. Every journey is built on the dreams and sacrifices of those who came before. The extraordinary has become ordinary. The world is forever changed. We remember aviation's pioneers as giants, but they were ordinary people facing fear and doubt. The Wrights learned through trial and error. Jaeger felt fear but pressed on. Coleman found new paths when doors closed. Their greatness came not from fearlessness, but from courage in spite of it. Progress is messy, driven by those willing to risk and believe when others doubt. These pioneers built more than machines. They built a new future. Their legacy is inspiration, a reminder that barriers are often self-imposed. The true lesson is that ordinary people with persistence and courage can achieve the extraordinary. The spirit of Kitty Hawk is about more than flight. It's about daring to dream. Their story calls us to be bolder, to dream bigger, and to pursue our own impossible ideas. Every flight is a tribute to their courage. The sky is open to all who dare. Ordinary people can change the world.